Warren here at the Kitchen Classroom, making some Cheddar Bay Drop Biscuits. Now, these may have similarity to some restaurant that some people may have gone to some point in the past or the present, but this is my version of them. So we have cheddar cheese. We have some biscuit flour, is what I like to call it. This is white lily flour, not self-rising, just regular white lily all-purpose flour. This is a soft winter wheat flour, lower protein, so it is more likely to stay tender. But this actually works perfectly fine with just regular all-purpose flour, whatever you normally use, because we're not gonna really work it that much. We have some baking powder, some Old Bay seasoning, and some salt. I've also done this with like a Zatarain seasoning, works great if you want a little slightly different flavor profile. Or the same recipe, you could change the cheese out, use a blend of herbs. It's gonna still turn out as a great biscuit, great flavor profile. You could use some herb de Provence or fine herbs for a French blend, throw it a little Gruyere, a little provolone, some Italian herbs. It's really a flexible recipe. And with this recipe, we're using milk, not buttermilk, though you can use buttermilk if you like. We're not using any baking soda, we're just using the baking powder, so the buttermilk isn't needed to help it leaven and that. And we're doing this all in our stand mixer. Makes it super simple, but you can do it by hand as well. So we're gonna start out by adding in our flour. And give that a quick little, raise the bowl up, give that a quick little, just even out, stir around. And you can do this with it, I generally don't do it with it running in case I drop these in, and then they get all mashed up. So that's our baking powder, that's our salt, and that's our Old Bay seasoning. And let that roll around for a second and get mixed. In our freezer, we have our butter. Has not been there very long, maybe 5-7 minutes, just to get a little firmer. Give it a little go, just to mix it up well. We'll get our box grater, and we're gonna get a little of that flour out of the bowl, just to get it on the butter, help it not stick to the grater. And we're gonna grate that. If you wanted to cut it up in little pats and flatten it out, that works well too, but I've always found grating my butter, it makes it quick and easy, and less time for the butter to get hot on my hands and warm up and start melting. Bench knife, we're gonna get the butter in the mix. Give that a quick little spin around. And then we can get our cheddar in the mix. Now this is only gonna be mixed in the mixer. We're not gonna use our hands or on the board. We're not gonna really knead it. These are definitely a moist biscuit, so it's easier to use the spoon, the drop method we're gonna be doing to put them together. And we're gonna add in our milk while it's running. It's gonna help get it more evenly mixed in. Slow pour down the side here. It's going to come together and not take very long at all. And we'll get this off the paddle. Now this may not look like the biscuit dough you're used to if you haven't done drop biscuits before. But that's why we're dropping them, because you couldn't really handle this. It's very sticky. It's definitely a wetter or a moist dough. But it does a perfect job for what we're doing. All right, so we have our mixture here, sort of dough looking, maybe almost like cookie dough, a little more wet. We have a nice little scoop disher. We're just gonna scoop in. You can also do this old school. My grandmother would have done it with 2 spoons before we had these little dishers. And we're gonna give them a little separation on the tray. All right, these are ready to go in the oven, 475 degrees, 12 to 15 minutes. All right, the biscuits are done. See, nice golden bottom, about the same color on the top. We'll let these rest for a minute or two, and then we'll plate them up and they're ready to go. So I'm gonna put a few on a plate here. Stack them up nice. These are great as a little appetizer, a little starter with some soup. What I really like, though no biscuit has ever complained about a little extra butter, is to go in with a little pepper jelly. This is sort of medium green pepper jelly we made, and that's a perfect little bite.